Don't wait for Mezco or McFarlane Toys to make your favorite heroes. Do it yourself. In fact, we know a guy who can help you out. Plus, we check out the music end of the San Francisco Game Conference and find it to be surprisingly tidy. Who'd have thought? And finally, you like the comics, we like the comics, but more importantly, Blair Butler likes the comics. She's back with more fresh ink. Now for a program that's neither the disease nor the cure. It's simply Attack of the Show!
Pick up on this.
I wasn't gonna welcome them to the show, but I'm so glad they're here, Sarah. I really am. What? I look forward to it the entire day. It's the one thing I look forward to saying, hi, welcome to our little television show.
This is why we exist, Kevin.
Pretty much.
For this hour of television.
We have
we
zero
are glad
lives.
to have you.
No social lives, no interests outside of this wonderful hour of television.
What's an interest?
Exactly. Now, some people do have interests in other realms, in other areas, one of them being politics, and that's why I would like to talk for a second about Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Oh, this should be rich.
Our beloved governor. There, look at Arnie, the governor. He's cute, right? He was endearing. He did good. When he wasn't doing anything, when he had to smile and wave.
I loved him in Total Recall.
Yeah, right? Get your ass to Mars. I love it. Yeah, vote for him. Let's do that. Yeah. And then his head came off in that one part, and then he threw the head.
He said a lot.
He did say a lot.
He said that he would do a lot.
Yeah.
The doing and the saying have not matched up on all accounts.
He did anger a lot of people.
Yeah.
He angered a lot of teachers. He angered conservatives for his appointment of Susan Kennedy as a chief of staff, Democrat.
Right. What are you doing, Arnie?
And, his last bout of initiatives, they all got, denied.
Yeah.
People voted against him pretty much unanimously. So now, the California Republicans, they're freaking out a little bit.
Freaking out.
Right. They're a little worried.
They're freaking out!
Well, no, okay, not that much, though.
Okay.
But maybe they are. Maybe they are. Maybe it's a calm under the surface thing because they're thinking of nominating, and I kid you not, Mel Gibson. Okay. Mel Gibson for governor, ladies and gentlemen.
Stop clapping, Kevin, and explain to me what's going on with the world.
Okay, people are saying perhaps Mel Gibson should run if Arnold Schwarzenegger decides to not go for a second term.
Passion of the Christ, Mel Gibson.
Big
scary
crazy beard
these days, Mel Gibson.
Nut job. Woo!
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Is he a Scientologist? It'd only be better if he was.
No.
Because that would really complete the trifecta of crazy.
But he has been accused of other things.
Yeah. No, so the push was started by the California Republican Assembly, right?
Okay.
And they said that, this is a group of people, by the way, that Reagan once called the conscience of the Republican Party. So this isn't just like some crazy right-wing group. This is apparently a big deal.
Well,
they're saying,
that's
yeah,
remains to be seen.
They're saying he should be the governor, and I say, look, like having an actor once was cute.
It was a great idea. We're in California,
right.
Hollywood.
Yeah, great T-shirts.
Let's just see what happens.
If you go through LAX, great T-shirts.
Totally
Black and white
cool.
of the governor.
The governor.
Good coffee mugs as well, and it was good for a photo op or three.
Great slogan.
Getting a little ridiculous now.
Yeah.
Like just because the Passion of the Christ did well at the box office doesn't mean he would be a good politician.
It really doesn't.
It really doesn't, folks. Like, and I can't believe I would ever ask for an actual politician to be governor, but I think we're getting to the point where
we've come full circle.
Yeah.
Bring back the politicians.
Please.
Let's bring the state back to the great state it once was.
Please.
All right, so Kevin, I don't know how much you like music. I'm gonna guess,
I've dabbled.
You've dabbled in a little music.
I've dabbled. Makes me a little nauseous,
right.
a little gassy.
Well, you'll be happy to know that the Grammy nominations for the 48th annual Grammys were announced this morning.
Wow.
Yeah. So.
Hold on. Wait. Let me put on the pretend to care face.
Well, no, Kevin. There's some decent acts. Okay. For example, for Record of the Year, we actually went out and bought some. We want to stay up.
We actually bought music. Wow.
We bought music.
Who does that?
Well, we want to make sure
Mariah Carey.
So we've got Mariah Carey. We Belong Together.
That is
That's
Photoshop.
one of them.
That is Photoshop.
Well, she's a little porkier in real life. I think.
What are you doing?
Gorillaz, Feel Good Inc. Another song. We like that one.
Yeah. Okay.
It's kind of a danceable
we
type
like
of a track.
Sure.
There's also Green Day, Gwen Stefani, Kanye West.
Fantastic.
Those were all nominees for.
All right, I don't know where you're driving this crazy Grammy train, but I want to hop out and do a barrel roll onto the side of the road because I just don't care.
And the reason I think it's so hard for people to care is that it's hard for anyone to understand who's picking them. Nobody really knows who has decided that Mariah Carey is one of the 5 best.
It's like the TRL, 15, 14-year-old somethings that go to the Best Buys and they buy the CDs and whatever. But when was the last time?
I don't think they're really nominating it.
When was the last? No, but they are because it's the popular artist. And when was the last time you went to download or purchase a CD and went, oh, you know what? They're not Grammy nominated. They haven't won an award. I don't think this is quality
The only
music.
people who say
I'm
that
sorry.
are like PR executives.
Exactly. Like,
And
cut it
when's the
out.
last time you flipped on the TV and there wasn't another award show on already?
Wasn't the Billboard Awards, what, 2 nights ago?
They're the, you
Done
know,
with
the We Wore Green Shirts Awards.
That's
That
how
was
it
on
is?
last Saturday.
You were nominated, by the way. You were dressed like an elf 2 days ago. That was nuts.
I won.
That was nuts.
Record of the year.
But with that said, apparently some people do care.
Some people do care, and maybe we're missing something.
Yeah.
So we want to get your opinion. So we've created a poll, Kevin.
Ooh.
I don't know when's the last time we created a poll.
It's been a while. We said
So-
we'd never do a last one after that kid got set on fire.
Well, we're doing it. So the poll today is who should win Record of the Year? A, Mariah Carey. B, Gorillaz. C, Kanye West. D, Gwen Stefani.
Yep.
E, Green Day. And F, don't give a rat's ass.
Ooh, I wonder which is going to win on our poll, Sarah.
I don't know. I think we set them up for that.
Well, we shouldn't have.
If one of the artists is your favorite,
Yes.
then please vote for them. We want to know. We want to see if we can
I got to
predict
tell
the
you,
future.
and I don't mean to sway the vote any further, but I'm a bit of a holler back girl. I've been around the track a few times.
It's
I
not
know
going to
that-
go on like that.
I know the stomp routine. I've performed it before. I kid you not.
You know why? Because it's
'Cause
bananas.
I love it is BANANAS.
Okay, let's stop.
All right, moving on. What else is bananas?
Keep going.
Well, that's not a good segue, but we'll take it anyways.
All
Today
right.
is the 25th year anniversary of John Lennon's murder.
Wow, that's bananas, Kevin.
It is a little on the fruity side. No, look, no disrespect at all to fans of John Lennon or to his family whatsoever. He was gunned down by a fan
Sure.
back in 1980 in front of his apartment, or in front of his home. People still have moments of silence for it. The problem is that I just can't relate. And it's hard for me, people are talking about it all around the office. Of course they're upset. I mean, they have every reason to be upset, but I wasn't even born when it happened.
Whoa.
And I have to imagine that a
Yeah,
lot
that
of
was
our audience
1980.
either wasn't born or was too young to really have a big impact. And so the question is, how do you relate? How can you share in this?
Well, you could, listen to a wealth of Beatles and John Lennon music.
Sure, and I do.
Okay.
Have.
Still can't relate?
Not really. It's like, well, I'm glad the music was there, but how do you cope? How do you deal with it? How can you?
How do I cope?
Help me help others, Sarah.
Well, I mean, I know a lot of the people in the office were calling their parents to comfort them.
Sure, I wanted to.
Because for a lot of people, it's the parents.
Yes.
The parents that were really devastated when
That's
this
what I'm
happened.
saying, but I don't know what to do.
Well, maybe we can take some tips from those guys.
Oh.
For example, a few of them told their parents to, look on the bright side.
Oh.
Well, at least he didn't live long enough to, embarrass himself like the Stones.
True. That got a groan and a half from back there somewhere. Wow, all right.
Yeah.
Anything
Some
else?
encourage them to appreciate what they still have, Kev.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, you still got Paul and Ringo. Well, Paul, anyway.
All
And
right.
finally, others tried to find,
convinced.
some common ground.
Mom, I know just how you feel. I went through exactly the same thing when Michael Hutchins died, when he hanged himself, while masturbating. Mom?
Yeah.
So,
I'm gonna.
hope
I'm
you
just
can
gonna,
relate, Kev.
I'm just gonna avoid the phone call. I think
Yeah,
altogether.
probably.
Yeah.
Probably best. All right, it's the world-famous, award-winning Relationship Thursday,
Woo!
everybody. Woo! Calling to get our advice of all things related to l'amour. Kevin.
Okay. The number is 800 all 800-839-78. Fritos.
Fritos.
It was Fritos, wasn't
Oh
it?
my gosh, you're amazing.
Hey, all right. Woo, do I get a prize?
Yeah.
All right. You can email us through our web format at
I'll give it to you during the commercial.
/ask us. Oh, the wheels are off, kids. Watch them rolling. And you can chat with us in our IRC chat room as well. Hopefully you can today at least. It's chat.g4tv.com. But aside from Frito Thursday, it's also Verizon Broadband Battle Thursday, Sarah Lane.
There's so much going on today.
That's why I'm going to physically toss the entire show over to Brendan Moran. Oh, nice.
Thank you. Behind the back.
Catch, Brad.
Thank you.
Woo!
Yeah.
Spike it like a baby.
Good
That's
enough
how a
for
baby
you?
would spike it.
Apparently.
Go ahead,
I'll
Brendan.
get flagged for that. Yes, it's the Verizon Broadband Battle. Today, we're going to play Quake 4. Joining us is KT So from the Super Import Model DVD series. So how's the gaming, KT?
I'm getting my butt kicked, but
Okay, she's trying. Now, import models are the girls that kind of stand next to, import cars. Is that right? Mm-hmm. I have a 2002 Nissan Altima out in the parking lot. I don't know, maybe later. You know what that is?
you done anything to it?
No, it's dented in a couple places, but good luck with that. We'll check
would
that
think
with
about
you
that.
a little later in the show. Now hurry and get into your Aquaman PJs because we got fresh ink on the way.
Attack of the show, baby. Attack.
In brightest day, in blackest night, hell, even if it's just a little overcast. We're going to bring you the fresh ink, folks. I'm Kevin Pereira. You know you love her. It's Blair Butler.
Hey.
And there's hundreds of thousands of fanboys right now dying to see what you have chosen this week.
It's a great week for comics, actually. Just really quick off the top, new issue of Gotham Central came out, which just talk about it really, really fast. You guys should pick this up because if you're a longtime fan of the series, one of the biggest characters in the series, huge shocker ending. So
Ooh,
that's
like literally like a huge, like a
like
giant,
dead, like gone
Magneto-sized
forever.
shocker, or
Well, I mean, it's a series
Sentinel
about
size.
cops, but
oh, all right,
Yeah,
fair
you
enough.
know.
All right, let's get to the Ultimates.
The
because
Ultimates.
The Ultimates 2.
yes, pick of the week, hands down. Hands down. This is if the Avengers, if Marvel's sort of preeminent superhero team had a gritty documentary made by HBO about them, this is what you'd get. This is one of my favorite comics on the market, hands down. It is so. It's basically taking iconic characters, Captain America.
Yeah, there's like armies of Captain Americae.
Right.
Or Americas.
Right,
I know
right.
you pluralize a Captain American, but
Yeah, no, this is all part of Marvel's relaunching all its series and sort of making them very edgy. And I mean, like in this comic, Iron Man is a drunken womanizer. Giant Man / Ant-Man beats the Wasp, who's his wife. Awkward little domestic
Well, hey, he
abuse.
asked for a sandwich twice, Blair.
I know, and she's tiny. She can't carry it.
It
so
happens.
yeah, this
A little
issue.
political too, though. There's like it's a very anti-American in this issue.
Well, it is a little bit. I mean, a lot of people have a problem with the Ultimates, which I love because they feel like the story arcs take a long time coming, but when you hit the action, and this is one of those big action
issue is
issues, it's just so great. But basically what's been happening is the team has been decimated, and the Avengers has always sort of been the world's superhero team. The Ultimates has turned it into very much being America's corporate superhero team.
Sure.
And the big story arc here, the resolution, is that we're finding out that everyone else in the world has assembled their own version of the International Avengers to
And the
take out
backlash
America.
is happening. So the
The backlash
verdict,
is
I think
happening.
we don't even need to ask. But for the sake of fun, this
Yeah.
is a buy, I'm assuming.
It's a buy. There are super soldiers busting through like Giant Man's rib cage. It's awesome.
And they're like superhero Q-tips as well.
They are.
Bursting out of ears.
It's awesome.
Actually, it's quite brilliant.
Yeah.
Now I want to move on to something that you don't think is as brilliant. Jonah Hex.
Right.
I thought the issue was all right.
Yeah,
It was all right.
it's all right.
I don't mean to be Leno about it, but...
Here's the thing. Last week, I was talking about Loveless and about how I was just like, oh my God, that's so gnarly and so brutal.
Right.
And Jonah Hex, for me, Jonah Hex #1 was just such a great issue. But now we're in Jonah Hex #2. And this issue, it's basically a bounty hunter that DC invented in the 70s. His face was horribly scarred by a tomahawk. It's a
Happens.
Western series. You know how it happens. Superheated tomahawk. You're playing around and, oh,
little
there's
skin.
my face is
We'll
gone.
take
That's
it.
awkward. But anyway, this is the relaunch of the series. I really like the art a lot. Some people don't care for it. I think it's perfectly in keeping with the Western theme.
I agree. I thought the art style was fine, but now what was your problem with it? I mean, look, there's a
All right.
kaboom. There's obviously there's an explosion.
I'll tell you what my problem was with it. The first issue of this series was great, and it features small children fighting pit bulls. That's hard to top. The second issue is a real letdown because it's very generic. It's
It
weirdly
is really
generic.
All right. So are we buying? Are we browsing? Or are
Browse
we
it,
burning?
but buy the first issue. Buy that one.
Okay.
Keep
Maybe
it in its
maybe
little
they'll pick it back
slipcase.
up with #3.
Right,
All right.
exactly. And gruesome cover on the first one. So.
Now, this next one, I still don't understand. I'm not sure what I read, I have to be honest. Marvel Zombies.
Right. This,
I mean, what is going on in this thing?
sometimes comic book companies have concepts that they're like, hey, wouldn't it be great if Spider-Man was a zombie?
Sure. I mean, it's the argument against medicinal marijuana, essentially. I mean, Spider-Man eats his
Right.
aunt.
Right, exactly.
What the hell is going on in this? What, do we know why all of
Yeah.
a sudden these heroes, these Marvel heroes, are zombies? Do we know? Or
Yeah,
mutants?
I'll tell you why. There was the Ultimate Fantastic Four, another comic book. They had one issue where the Fantastic Four went to an alternate dimension where all the superheroes were zombies, which is fine for one issue. And then Marvel was like, I like this idea of the Hulk eating people's heads.
Right, let's spin
make
this bad
a
boy
series.
off.
Right. And the one thing that they did right was they got Robert Kirkman to write it, who writes The Walking Dead, which we all know is my favorite comic. Not all zombie comics are created equal.
They
I
are.
discovered this week. It's not so good.
I still had fun with it, but,
Yeah.
but I need to have your verdict, of course. Buy, browse, or burn.
Well, it's kind of a novelty comic. I'm going to have to say, if you like your heroes decomposing, buy it. Everybody else, browse it. Although I will say, there's a great scene where Spider-Man breaks down and says, "I got hungry and ate my wife and my aunt."
Yeah.
Ooh, awkward.
Look, it
Yeah.
happens. He's going through a rough time.
He is.
It is.
He
And then
hungry.
finally, of course, an indie pick as well. You always have something
Yes,
good for us.
right.
Tell me about Ice Haven.
Ice Haven. Okay, this is by Daniel Clowes. He's like, he and Chris Ware and a couple other people are really the pinnacles of the indie comic scene. And this is a collected, it's a collected volume of his story, Ice Haven, which appeared originally in 8-Ball issue number 22. I'll talk more about that later. But basically, the premise of this, it's like a misanthropic R-town. There's a child that's kidnapped, and it's every point of view of like all these different people in the town sort of reacting to it. It's really dark. It's pretty depressing, and it sort of draws all these parallels with the story of Leopold and Loeb.
But now many people have already seen many of these comics already, correct?
Right.
In other places. So is it worth picking up if they're all together at once?
If this is the first time if you've never really read anything by Daniel Clowes except for Ghost World, which should be the first thing by him that you read, then go out and pick this up. If you're an 8-Ball fan, you're going to pick this up and be so ticked off because you're going to be like, I bought this for like $4 on the newsstand, and now I'm paying like $20 for it. Like basically, with a couple extra like little stories in there, but yeah.
So fans of 8-Balls, go ahead and give it a little skip.
But everybody else, you should buy it. It's a great book. It's really, really terrific.
Claire, as always, a pleasure talking the Fresh Ink with you.
Thank you.
As usual, be sure to check out our show notes for even more on all these comics. Now, don't slink off like I won't notice. I got eagle eyes. Because Sarah risked arrest and a body cavity search just to bring you a damn good website. It's coming up next.
iPod of the Stars. Kevin Federline's iPod. Baby Daddy, Wyclef Jean. Nah Work, Prince Malachi. Redneck Gigolo, Terrell. Living the Life, The Notorious B.I.G. Grifter, Overcast. The Bitch Just Kicked Me Out, Nashville Pussy.
Search your favorites list. Sure, those are good and all, but how many would qualify as a damn good website? All right, Kevin, I've talked a lot about Google in the past.
We have.
Google Maps is sort of the place that I've always been going for the last few months.
There was a while where if it had the word Google in it, we were talking about it.
We were talking about it.
Regardless of what it was.
And Google Maps I really liked because they had those great aerial satellite images, and it seemed like they were really on top of it.
Yeah, you were able to stalk everybody in the office with that.
Yeah, I was.
You're creepy.
Yeah. But I actually have found something that's, I hate to say it, but it's better. Windows Live
Whoa, wait. Microsoft? Are we talking about a Microsoft thing being better than Google?
Which is so embarrassing.
You just opened the portal to another dimension of fanboy.
But you know what? I'm not gonna do this without backing it up.
All right, let's hear it. Let's hear it.
So here we go. You're looking at what we've brought up as a map of our office. This is where we are at this moment. Okay, well that's a map. That's
Google can do
just
that,
about
Sarah.
right.
Google can do that.
Google can do that. And then you switch to an aerial mode and you kind of go, okay, that's neat. Well, Google can do that too.
Google can do that.
But can Google give you a bird's eye view that looks something like this?
Oh, Google don't do that.
Google don't do that, Kevin.
Google
don't play that.
Google don't do that at all.
That's weird. And if you want to even closer bird's eye view, you just click on sort of a what?
Yeah, whoa.
Are you whoa-woing me?
Oh, shit, Google don't do that at all.
Google don't do that either. And and at this point, it's like this is not only our offices, but you can see.
You can see the dents in Brendan's Maxima.
Yeah, Ultima, Kevin.
Ultima. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, he would never be caught in a Maxima.
My God, get it right. So anyway, this is really cool. Now, once you have the bird's eye view, we're looking north. What if we want to look south?
Well,
Why
you
don't we
can't
just
because you
click
only see
south?
one angle on the satellite, right?
Au contraire, my friend. Look, we just well, if you want to look at it.
Whoa!
Okay, and now stay with us. Stay
Hold
on the page. We'll just go west. Anyway, it's really cool. It's like a bird's eye view that's not so aerial because aerial can be, I don't know, a little deceiving sometimes.
Sure.
I mean, it's so. I guess aerial is the complete bird's eye view.
Right.
This one is sort
It's
of
also a great sans serif font.
isn't it? So not only have we looked at our own offices, but we've gone into Manhattan. You know, we've got a bird's eye view of, you know, down by, you know, at 1600 Broadway. And I thought, okay, and by the way, it's worth mentioning that at this point, it's only in major cities. So you can't just do this for, you know, if you live in Podunk, Iowa, or something like that. It's okay.
Sorry, viewers.
I'm from a podunk town myself. I'm sure Sebastopol is not on Windows Live Local yet.
No,
but
not.
I did pull up an old address in San Francisco, my old apartment on Turk Street, and there it is. And if I want to get even closer, it is super cool. I mean, that is literally my old apartment building. I loved it.
I used to throw rocks at that window. I missed that.
No, you never lived there. I don't think you were alive when I lived in that apartment.
Probably wasn't.
Anyway, if you want today's website link, this is fun. It's really cool. It's at attackoftheshow.com, which happens to be like so itchy. It's like the itchiest place on earth.
They have creams for that.
Can you tell me about that later?
Yeah, totally.
Good.
I got some on my desk.
All right, stay put, little elves. We unwrap the feed after this. Plus, we're going to lend our ears to the music side of the game conference.
Welcome back to the old television show. You know, podcasting is officially a word in the dictionary, so why not celebrate by checking out our podcast, huh? It's a good idea. Go to attackoftheshow.com, or of course you can check iTunes podcast directory to get a hold of it. Also, tomorrow's Boost Mobile live band is Trillville, just in case you were curious or anything. Now, yesterday we checked out the games, the cars, and the Jeff Gertzmans at the San Francisco Game Conference, but let's not forget that there was another reason to drag your ass out there, and it was for the music. Game is a convention designed to show people the importance of video games and music and how they're related, but if you just walk around and ask anybody that's attending, they'll tell you they already know that music is an integral part of the gaming experience. Smoke on the water. Tell me about Meat Beat Manifesto. Where did you guys get your roots? How long have you been doing this?
Well, the first record came out in 1987, so it's almost 20 years now. All the video stuff's all live. We don't, like, sync it to the video, so we're playing it all live.
How do you describe the music of Colossus?
Well, you know, I would say that it's a pure form of music, but it's not just one form. There is really no one sound or one genre that we're dealing with.
Sir, this is our stage, man. We're putting on a live show here.
Oh, nice. Where's the camera?
Music is always really important to the video game experience. And with Guitar Hero, our game that we worked on in particular, the music is the game.
Here at the Games and Music Experience, you can experience games, you can experience music, and you can also experience street culture via a graffiti wall. Now, what I learned from an HBO documentary once was that if I sign my name somewhere on this guy's tag, a mother's gonna get shot tonight. Watch. Boom! Goes the shotgun shells, bitch. Well, everybody who was expecting E3 for the people got exactly what they wanted. A chance to show up, play some games, maybe gawk at a few booth babes. I could use some arm candy, I'm just saying.
Well,
I'm just glad I finally found a nice, quiet place to rest my head. So I'm going to sign off from the Games and Music Experience. Take care, everyone. Very, very, very successful first outing for the game conference, and I must say, not only was it great to see people getting their hands on stuff that they normally couldn't or didn't get a chance to anywhere else, but Meat Beat Manifesto, I can't say it enough, some of the best stuff I've seen ever. These guys are video jockeys that know what they're doing, so if you ever get a chance to see them, please do. But now, in the meantime, pay attention, or at least have the decency to fake it. Here's the feed.
RIAA isn't content to just hunt file shares. It's now going after websites that post lyrics. Yes, I'm serious. A man named Walter Ritter, who runs a lyrics search application called Pear Lyrics, received a cease and desist letter from the nutjobs at the good old RIAA. Now, according to Ritter, the letter basically made no distinction between the distribution of lyrics and the illegal swapping of music files. So if things keep going this route, by this time next year, saying something like, hey, did you hear that new Green Day song will be punishable by up to a year in prison or something ridiculous like that. I don't even know where this world's coming to. Now, hey, you, the guy who runs that Hillary Duff news, rumors, and gossip site, you know who you are, and you may be eligible for a Pulitzer Prize. That's right. This week, the Pulitzer Prize Board widened its submission guidelines to allow for online material to be considered in a broader range of categories. Now, the board has apparently been monitoring the growth of online journalism and feels it has reached a point where it can compete with print in some areas. So it should be noted, though, that submissions are graded, among other things, on how concisely they convey information. So if you were planning on padding things with a few animated George Bush gifs, just don't bother. Now, we pretty much knew that Nintendo wasn't even going to compete with the Xbox 360 and the PlayStation 3, but new rumors suggest this might not be a bad thing. Sure, word is that the Revolution's processor won't be powerful enough to handle HD graphics, but more words are suggesting that the console will also sell for around $100. I mean, you can get one for each room of your house for less than the price of an Xbox 360. So the Revolution is like the tween of next gen. Not quite old school, not quite next gen. Not yet a woman. Now, Family Guy creator Seth MacFarlane is working on a live-action sitcom about a 40-something man finally looking back at the summer when he finally, quote, became a man. Of course, it was also the summer he turned 32. The show will be aimed at IT departments and game developers and comic book fans and LARPers. And we haven't actually heard that, but we're putting two and two together pretty well. And finally, NASA is turning to private companies to gauge their interest in taking over the business of flying cargo back and forth to the International Space Station. That's right, man. Space truckers could finally be a reality. The call is out to private rocketeers across the country, and each one will compete for the potentially lucrative contract. Now, if this goes well, then commercial space flights can't be far behind, right? But before you make any calls, private rocketeers refers to people who actually, developed viable spacecraft. Your USS Enterprise minivan, while cool, will get you nowhere. And that's the feed. Over and out.
It's your very special day, Sarah Lane.
Why?
Because it's Relationship Call Thursday. Bring him in. Who do we got?
Brendan joins us on the phone from Denver, Colorado. Thanks for joining us, Brendan.
Hey there.
Unfortunate name.
What up?
What's up, Brendan?
Oh, not much. Just sitting around reading a book.
Reading a book?
Reading a book, yeah.
Calling Attack of the Show. It's my kind of guy.
Boy, that's two kinds of excitement, ain't it?
Yeah.
What do you got for us? You got a question?
Yeah. I was dating a girl for 6 years, and at that point,
it's a
you
big
kind of,
mistake right off the bat.
You start to, you kind of ponder marriage and things like that, and you kind of get spooked certain things,
Yeah.
So I thought I'd invite her into the world of good television.
I thought you were going to say S&M or something like that. This is
the world of
I thought I'd invite her into my world. I just wanted to put a collar on her.
So you wanted to show her some of the shows that you like, for example.
I wanted her to sit down and maybe watch an episode of Firefly, because we got the box set. Thought, hey, let's pop that
Serenity
in.
fan.
Yeah, maybe.
Calling in.
Yeah.
We wonder where you were.
And so what? Did she like it? Did she hate it?
See, that's the problem. She said it was the dumbest show ever, and it was enough to spook me into the point of we broke up, and I was
wow.
I think I'm in the right.
Dumped a woman for having taste. You can't blame her.
Well, some people like Firefly. People that I respect like Firefly.
Oh,
it's true.
wow.
It's true. People you respect even.
Yeah, no, I know.
Perhaps.
And not you, sir.
Brendan, sometimes people can't agree on things like what's a good television show.
No, I can't.
That's just the way the cookie crumbles. I mean...
It's true.
Poor girlfriend, 6 years, man. She gave you 6 years. You broke up with her because she doesn't like Firefly? What the F?
I can't imagine they never saw TiVo in 6 years. Like, they just never got on the couch together. But, it happens. I say, hey, look, if she obviously wasn't the one for you, period. Good move. Katie,
tragedy.
join us on the phone from Canton, Ohio. Are you there, Katie?
Hi, Katie.
Yes, I am.
How are you?
Good. How are you guys?
Doing very well.
We're really great.
Good.
So what's your question?
My boyfriend is a hardcore Halo player. He's into first-person shooters, and I was wondering, what should I get him for Christmas? Because he's super picky about the games he plays.
And is he like the gamer who already has everything kind of a guy?
Yeah.
Sort of, but not really. He's got the 360, he's got the Xbox, but he just still plays Halo.
I always find the perfect stocking stuffer is Oral. But, I mean, how long have you been with them? Did we lose? Hello? Oh, I guess we lost her, unfortunately. I don't know. I mean, if he likes first-person shooters, he's probably got a lot of them. I guess the question is, does he have a...
Did you
sorry?
say what I thought you said?
Probably.
How do you get that into a stocking?
Well, if she's a talented woman, she'll figure it out.
All right.
You know what I'm saying? And then you could throw in a candy cane
You
or two.
could use a sock or something that kind of works.
Anyway, look, if he doesn't have a next-gen system, I'd say that's the way to go. If he's playing Halo, get him the 360. It'll look a little bit nicer.
She said he had?
He can take it online. No. Did she say that he had a 360?
I think that's what she said.
Oh, I tuned out.
If he's got a 360, I think he's got everything.
Answers oral. When the show finishes powdering its nose, you'll find out why today's LAN party is hot enough to melt Brendan's veneer.
That's
of cool.
That's hot.
It is hot. All right, so just like our last caller, we all know that we need to buy our grateful or ungrateful friends and family a present at this time of year. It makes sense, right? It's what you got to do.
Sure.
And we also know that none of us want to actually exert much energy in doing so. So that's why we've got a solution.
Good, because I have friends and family, but I don't want to try that hard.
Right, exactly. And you might not have known this, Sarah, but did you know you can shop online?
What?
I kid you not.
When did this happen?
On the internet.
That is awesome.
So if you're looking for a good deal on something like a high-definition television or a digital camera, some people would think, oh, you got to go to buy.com or you got to go to Amazon or some big online retailer. Not true. We recommend JNR.com or JR.com. Either one will get you there. Yeah.
Okay.
JR, it's not like a mom-and-pop shop by any stretch. They're a big company.
It has an Amazon look.
Exactly. Same look, same feel, but better deals because they're a little more under the radar than, say, an Amazon. So you're going to get great customer service. You're going to get the same selections, and there you have it. So that's a good one.
Okay.
Also, another website that we recommend, if you want to go the Amazon route, there's Deal-A-Zon. Deal-A-Zon will essentially strip Amazon's deals of the day, so you can go and get like a random smattering. You're like, oh, a Razer cell phone for $149. I didn't think of getting that for someone. You know, now you have an idea.
There's also just sort of a way to zone in on Amazon and only see the stuff you want.
Exactly. Cool. You're not cluttered with a whole bunch of stuff. There's also a holiday gift finder that will give you 3 simple options: books, movies, music, which one. You click through, you tell it what the person likes, and it'll recommend based off of like people who bought this also bought that, you know. So you can get a magic wand for the person who really enjoys Green Day.
I didn't used to like recommendations, but I've actually found them very helpful.
They're getting better.
Yeah,
they're getting better. So, and now this is a site that I visit every day. I have been for ages. It's called Woot.com. And Woot, they basically, today it's a bread maker.
Woot?
Yeah, today it's a random thing. It could be a hard drive, could be a graphics card, could be an RC card. Today it happens to be a bread maker with a VHS instructional video.
Which is kind of cool because you never know what it's going to be. So when it's a bread maker, you're like, Woot's getting crazy today.
Exactly. And the deals are great. And not only that, but they also have mystery bags. You can literally buy a $5 mystery bag. Sometimes you'll get a graphics card.
Have you ever done it?
Sometimes I haven't. I had a friend that got one time.
What did he get?
He got a hard drive. He bought like a $25 mystery bag or something like that. He got a big hard drive. He got a bunch of stickers, a stapler, etc. It's normally pretty good.
I love mystery bags.
Yeah, and they even have Woot offs, which are where it's a new product every like 10 minutes or every hour. Very cool stuff. So check it daily, Woot.com. And then finally, you might have heard of this website on our show before. We cover it from time to time. It's a little website called eBay.
eBay.
And the reason we mention this is because really, don't give up just because the brick and mortar stores don't have your 360s or they don't have whatever that special someone needs or old collectible toys, or if you're looking for Transformers for whatever reason, boom, go to eBay.
Designer jeans on eBay.
Yes, as well.
It's crazy.
So you can check our website for a full list of links, but really think that'll get you going on the old holiday shopping.
Thank you, Kevin. Now
You're
I do
welcome.
not have to leave my desk, and everybody gets a gift this Christmas.
Isn't that sweet of me? Now, it's time for the Verizon Broadband Battle, the only party where you might get yourself shot. Unless, of course, you're attending the Vibe Awards.
The game is Quake 4, locked and loaded by our Rex-based server. And joining us today is the very lovely KT So from the Super Import Models DVD series. How are you?
Good, how are you?
Now, last week, we had Kylie Yu on the show. She was also a super import model, and she was from Korea. Where are you imported from?
I was made in Hong Kong.
Oh, really? Mm-hmm. Well, we've never had a Hong Kong model on before. This is very exciting. So then when you're not posing with cars, oh, look at those pictures right there. That looks something else. What do you do in your spare time when you're not taking risque pictures and bikinis? Sorry, I lost my focus there.
I do a lot of different things. I like out driving. I like checking out cars. That's kind of one of the reasons why I got into the whole import scene to begin with. I like to hang out with my friends, go to the beach and all that stuff.
It sounds like a personal ad. Okay, well, and as a LAN party guest, we've got a special thing we're going to start doing. It's a quiz. Okay, you ready? It's called Bitch or Mutt. Now, I'm going to show you a couple different things, and you've got to guess whether it's a bitch or a mutt. You ready?
I'm ready.
All right, so we can put the first thing up. I think we're going to look at Shannon Doherty. Do we see Shannon Doherty? There's Shannon Doherty. Bitch or mutt? Actually, that's wrong. She's both a bitch and a mutt. She's actually Irish-German descent to a little Italian thrown in there. Okay, we're going to switch up the way we play the game. I'm gonna ask you, bitch or mutt, and you have to tell me what we're gonna see.
What?
Just give me one, bitch or mutt. Wrong. It's mutt. It's my dog. His name is Pretzels.
Okay.
Do we see Pretzels? This is all falling apart, isn't it? KT, thanks for being a good sport.
Sure thing.
Well, you want to come back next week and we can do this again?
Maybe a different game, Malcolm.
Somehow I think this is all my fault. Anyway, all right, thanks for playing. You can check out KT on MySpace at myspace.com/KTSO or on the Super Import Models website at superimportmodels, that's hard to say, .com. Now, when we come back, impress your friends and thwart your enemies with custom action figures.
Computers on Attack of the Show provided by Intel. Game on. Power up. Take control with the Intel Pentium Processor Extreme Edition.
On the next Attack of the Show, comedian Aziz Ansari explains why it's funny to yell at babies. Plus, lions, tigers, and Christ imagery. Oh my! We wander through the Chronicles of Narnia. And finally, my Free Play Friday asks for nothing in exchange for hours and hours of pure joy. It's like Santa Claus or a prostitute. That's the next Attack of the Show. Stay tuned. If you took a passing glance at a store shelf, you'd probably think that the toy world had comic books pretty well covered. But true fans are nothing if not obsessive about the details. And sometimes guys like Bill Burns have to craft their own custom heroes. Bill, welcome to the Big Red Couch. We appreciate you coming on.
Thank you for having me.
Hey, now, your customs, you take action figures and then you give them a once-over with the Crayola, or how does this work?
Well, what is you take a base figure, it's a combination of feet, head, arms, legs. It's almost a Frankenstein sort of complex. Right. I mean, customizers go into stores looking for heads and arms and brains, and stuff like that. It's
Did she walk in and say that? Like, I'm looking for a pair of legs.
Yeah, well, no, but you walk in. I mean, it's once you're a customizer, and you've been collecting action figures, you're looking at figures a lot differently.
Now, do you have a license for this? Did you have to? Is there a certification test to become a customizer?
No,
or
you just.
Did you wake up one morning and say, you know what, I need this action figure? They don't make it.
Actually, yes.
That's how it works.
The first that I did was actually the Golden Age Justice Society, and they weren't making it. I wanted to have my own, so I made the entire team.
That's great.
That was my whole goal of getting into customizing, was to have that.
And you got into it a couple years back. How many toys would you say that you've actually customized?
Probably about 150, maybe 200. Wow. I haven't really counted.
You gave up at some point around 100 something.
Yeah.
And that's about it. Now, do you have like bins? I'm imagining you must have tons of like action figures in your place, and you say, okay, well, literally, I need the hat off this character, and you just lance it off with a Dremel.
Mm-hmm.
That's great. So now, what are you using to actually customize these?
It's putty, milliput. It's a air drying clay.
So not the silly variety.
No.
Okay. All right.
You don't press it on the newspaper.
I was going to say, because that would be a good tactic. So you have a special kind of modeling clay that you use?
Yes, it's air drying putty. You have like a half-hour window to work with it, so you better know what you're doing ahead of time.
Sure.
I like it because it sands pretty smooth, and you can also hard sculpt it pretty well.
Yeah, now you brought a bunch of different toys for us here. I just wanted to kind of go through a couple. Like, for instance, this guy right here. First of all, who are we looking at? What's this character?
This is Zor-El. He's from the Justice League, the comic book. He's probably been kicked off the team since then. This is what you call a comic book style, more realistic looking custom.
And what's his base character? Because I know he has his own action figure normally, right?
Yes, this is from the Total Justice line. They don't make it anymore. In fact, they don't really make comic book style figures in that size anymore.
Right. And then so that's the more classic style. Now, what about this girl here?
This is the animated style. This is from the Justice League Unlimited from the Cartoon Network, and it's based on the Bruce Timm designs. Very clean. It's my favorite one to work in. Very smooth lines, very clean, very streamlined. If you customize in this style, you can't allow for any mistakes.
Sure.
It's, your lines have got to be straight, your paint applications have to be smooth. You got to be dead on when you customize an animated style.
Now, who are you creating these for? Is this just for yourself or?
That one's for myself. I've been doing more commissioned work than for myself these days.
So are these hardcore collectors? They call you up. They say,
Yes.
"Look, I really need this. I really need that."
That's the majority.
Have you had any weird requests for customizations that
I get a lot of requests for wrestling figures. And
Really?
Yes, and I said I don't want to do wrestling. I don't watch it.
What do they want? Do they want you to create something for like an obscure amateur wrestler?
Yes,
Or
a lot of those. Some obscure wrestling federation in New Jersey.
Right. Like just slap 5 pounds of putty on it and call it a wrestler. Give it a speedo and you're done. And
Right.
That's not your style, though.
No.
Now, have you gotten into any trouble with with the brands? Has DC called you up and said, "Hey, we appreciate it, but you can't make our characters. It's our license."
No, never. Maybe after the show they'll come after me.
Yeah, now that they're aware,
Yes.
they're knocking on your door.
I've
already.
actually some DC artists and writers actually own some of my figures.
Oh, that's great.
Like Grant Morrison, I think has one, and they've given gifts to each other with my customs.
So what's next for you? What's the next figure that you're going after?
Right now, I'm negotiating with a lot of independent comic book companies, which is really cool because there's no licensing problem there.
Right.
So, but that's what I'm doing, and I'm probably going to be doing a lot more of the larger DC Direct Marvel Legends scale.
Oh, great.
So,
Very
kind of
nice.
moving into that.
I have a request for a Bret the Hitman Hart with 3 asses, and we'll talk after. But if you think you can make that happen, I would be forever in your debt, sir.
No.
Okay. All right. We'll talk. We'll talk. Thank you again for coming on
Thank you
and
for
sharing
having
your
me.
work with us. For more info on Bill's Customs, you can check out the links in our show notes. Now, assuming that our software is back up and running, which is probably not working, we'll have a chat question for you too next. Stick around.
Attack of the show, baby. Attack.
Just so you're aware, in about a week, we're going to take a break, from you, and fill the air with our best of clip shows.
Woo!
Yeah, so be on the lookout for shows like Attack of the Nerd, a collection of our techiest segments, and Attack of the Fool, a hodgepodge of our greatest Brendan Moran moments. So, so spend the holidays with us. Kinda, I guess.
All right, so let's check in with our poll real quick.
Let's do it. Let's do it. We put the
What
poll at the beginning of the show.
wins?
Well, that picture wins. I can't
Is
even
that
see
our
the poll,
poll?
but I don't give a crap. Oh, there it is.
Mariah
Oh.
Carey is not winning.
2%.
Gorillaz,
Gorillaz,
17. Kanye West, we got 8. Gwen Stefani's at 5.
Looks like Gorillaz might be walking away
Green
with-
Day,
Oh,
and
don't give her
Gorillaz
its ass.
with over half of the votes.
There's no way that adds up to 100, by the way.
I don't think
it's
it-
like 108.
Yeah. There is a margin of error.
Right,
Plus or
okay.
minus
I
20
don't think anybody really gives a rat's ass. That's the moral of the story. Want to see what's going on in the chat room? Fellas?
Yes. All right, yeah, let's do it.
All right, Fifth Dream wants to know, what's a good name for a brand new baby pet ferret? Oh, I love ferrets. I like Butterfield.
Lunch?
Pretzels?
Pretzels?
Was pretty brilliant.
You always win with pretzels, Kevin.
Pretzels is pretty
Lunch?
good. Lunch
Who
is
eats
good.
pretzels? Or, oh.
We're talking about a ferret.
Easy, yeah, it's a ferret.
Never mind.
All right, next question.
Jedi Knight wants to know, if made by Lucas, would you watch a Star Wars Episode 7?
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
Would I pay for it? No.
Exactly. No. I would download it.
Would you
per
watch
se.
it if it wasn't made by Lucas? I don't really know
Well-
why that was part of the question, but
Yeah, I guess I would.
You would
well,
watch
maybe,
either way?
maybe Spielberg's gonna make 7. Who knows? You never know.
He's
I don't think anyone's going to make
I'd watch
7.
it. Well, next question. Let's go.
All right, Sunbun wants to know, would the host want to be a giant version or a mini version of themselves?
Ooh.
I would like to be a giant version. I've never been giant. It would be really cool. If I was a mini version, I'd go away.
Tough to shop for clothes.
Being so small?
Being so huge.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I would
Either
like
way.
to. I would like to be my regular sized, but I would like to have a mini me, like a guy like maybe like this tall that you could kind of put
Like
in
a
your pocket
sidekick
and walk
that you can-
around.
yeah.
Yeah, exactly. You go spy on people, and you could be like
Well,
your angel. And
That's
be like,
that's not the question.
Yeah, that wasn't the question. The question was,
Do you want
would
to be this guy?
Oh,
or
I
do you
know
wanna
that wasn't
be
the
twice
question.
the
I'm just saying this is what I
You're
want.
just going off on a tangent?
I don't care what the question is. Oh, I wrote it. I'm not having a good day today.
Could you not break the entire show today, Brendan? That'd be great.
All right, G4 Vosh wants to know, what's your favorite type of junk food to eat when gaming? I know what mine is.
What is it?
I like Almond Joy or Mounds.
Oh, God. Coconuts?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's not bad.
Disgusting.
So
I like the Almond Joy better than the
good.
Mounds, though.
I like Almond Joy better, too, because almonds and chocolate are so good together.
Give me something with nougat.
Brendan, sometimes
Ew,
she feels like a
nougat
nut.
is for babies.
Sometimes you don't.
Sometimes you don't. I don't eat while gaming. I'm against it. I am against it. Number one, if you're
You
playing
lie.
the PC, I'm serious. If you're playing the
You
PC
lie.
games and you get food or potato chip grease on your fingers, you don't want that on your keyboard and mouse. You just don't want it. I mean, that's where I masturbate. I don't need like potato chips and
Kevin.
stuff on there. I don't want to ruin my work area.
Good night.
Good night, everyone.
Thanks to our guests, Bill Burns, KT So, and Blair Butler. Wow, that was
Attack of the Show wardrobe provided by Jinx.com.